In this video, we will go over the rigid 10-inch table saw with a stand. I've been looking for a table saw recently as I'm new to woodworking, and this month was the best month in terms of sales in Home Depot. I got this table saw with stand for approximately $350. In this video, I will be unboxing this table saw, then I will assemble it, and finally I'll go over some of the safety features. As I am taking item from the box, I'll be placing them onto the side so I can have a better understanding of what each and every part is and where it will go. Some of the parts that came in the box were the saw itself, the push stick, the guard assembly, the hardware that is needed to connect each and every part, the blade, the fence, the miter gauge, the wrenches to remove the blade, the riving knife, the anti-kickback pawls, and of course the operating manual. I started by connecting the centerpiece of the stand to the lower piece of the stand by the provided large bolts, spacers, and the nuts. The manual said to proceed with the left side first and then proceed with the right side. When I did that, I ran into issues as you can see in the video. The holes were not being aligned and it was a problem. I tried it for several minutes and then I took out the nuts from the bolts from the left side and proceeded with the right side. This resolved the problem. Next, I'll be connecting the top portion of the stand with the middle portion that I just connected to the lower portion. This connection is made via two provided small bolts, spacer, and the nuts. I must say that the assembly was quite smooth because Rigid has marked the items with the numbers. As you can see over here, they have marked 5 and 5. So I'll be connecting the two pieces that are labeled the same, and here you can see that they are marked as 6 and 6. Next, I'll be connecting the top portion of the stand with the lower portion by the two provided bolts, nuts, and the small spacer. This connection was made easy once again by marking that it was pre-done by Rigid. Next, I'll be installing these foots onto the lower portion of the stand. We have provided bolt, a spacer, and the nut. 1 foot for the left side and 1 foot for the right side. Next, I'll be installing the two wheels, one on the left side and on the right side. In the installation of the wheel, the large washer goes in first, and then the wheel, and then the small washer along with the nut. Once everything was assembled, I went back and tightened each and every screw with the help of a torque wrench. The assembly of the stand is now complete. Next, we will be removing the table saw from the box. Make sure you have help available as this table saw is very heavy. Now, after taking it out from the box, we will place it onto the stand such that the holes at the bottom of the saw align with the holes on the stand. These holes were pre-drilled by Rigid, which made the assembly very easy. Once the table saw is placed onto the stand, secure it properly by placing and then tightening the 4 provided bolts. These bolts go from the bottom of the stand to the base of the table saw. The overall assembly of the Rigid table saw was not difficult at all, especially for new beginners like myself, because Rigid pre-marked the items, and it was easier to follow their operating manual as well. The best thing about this table saw, and I'm sure it is with others as well, is the onboard storage of the items that came with it. For example, this miter gauge, the push stick, the blade guard, and the anti-kickback pole, and the rib fence. All of this can be mounted onto the table saw itself. The push stick is stored on the front of the table saw. The miter gauge is placed on the right side of the table saw if your left hand is facing the upper portion of the stand. The anti-kickback pole and the blade guard are placed behind the power cord. There are two portions, the front and the back. The back portion is for the anti-kickback pole, while the front portion is for the blade guard. The riving knife is inside this throat plate. It could be removed and stored with the blade wrenches by removing this wing nut. The rib fence is mounted to the other side of the table saw, and it could be secured with the help of these straps. You can close the stand by pushing with your foot the lever down and then lifting the table saw upward. This option is extremely beneficial, especially in terms of saving the space. Similarly, to open the stand, just push with your foot the lever down and then the stand as well. I hope you enjoyed the installation of this table saw. If you did, make sure to like, comment and subscribe.